Good morning and happy Monday. It is December 19th, and this is your wake-up call. We have a very exciting call for you today, and we even have a special guest and then another special guest. So tag your people, let them know that we are about to get going, but you know we have to start this call off right. I have my main man, the voice, Darren Ashby, to recognize a few of you all who have advanced your businesses forward since last week. Darren, welcome to the call.
Good morning, Keyshawn.
Good morning. Let's do this.
All right, let's do it. Good morning, coaches. We have got new diamonds. We've got new 1-star. We've got a new 2-star. We've got a new 3-star. So let's jump right in. Here they are, our newest diamond coaches. Congratulations to Cindy Celeste, Chelsea Driscoll Martin, Deidre Fitzpatrick, Sarah Lauzon, Nicole Longo, Helen Laudi, Nicole Morrissey, Lauren Plewishkis, Amanda Roberts, Sarah Steiner, and Sarah Vanderweide. Congratulations, you guys. These are your newest diamond coaches. All right. Now our newest 1-star. Congratulations to Kathleen Rourke. And coaches, our newest 2-star diamond coach from Canada, Michelle Neski. And here is your newest 3-star diamond coach. Congratulations to Marie-Andre Audi. All right. That is it for recognition, guys. Congratulations to everyone on the call. And if you know these coaches, any of these coaches or anybody on their teams, reach out to them today and congratulate them on this huge achievement. All right, let's move the call along. Back to Keyshawn. Keyshawn.
Thank you, Darren. And congratulations to all of those coaches and their teams that were recognized this week. And I'm looking at the chats, and I'm looking at Karen, and I'm looking at Holly. This is your first time on the wake-up call. We are so excited that you're here. So welcome to our Monday wake-up call, where hopefully you are given a dose of motivation and inspiration for you to go help people get started with what you're doing this week. I'm Keyshawn, and I have just a few announcements for you this morning. The first one, and y'all, I need for you to hold on to your chair, because this is all about a chance to win not only the opportunity to help someone get started with a program that is a sure thing, but to also potentially win $20,000 US. It's of course converted into wherever your local currency is, but we have the opportunity, and we are on a brink of a launch to help people get started with our newest program launch that is launching to customers during our VIP early access starting tomorrow, December 20th. And when you help people get started with Sure Thing via share cards, so sending those share cards, getting them started with Sure Thing, you automatically get entered to win $20,000 US, 20,000 bonus points converted to your local currency. So what's the big takeaway here? Make sure that you know about Sure Thing. Start asking your friends and family and followers, especially this time of year where you're probably gathering with them more often. Know some of the information about them, or if they have questions, know that you can go get those answers. All of the answers live in the product toolkit in your Coach Online office. Also, make sure that you send them that share card when they express that interest so they can complete their purchase quick, easy, and they can get started in your group right away. There is, we're going to be announcing the winner next year. So y'all, we have a couple more days, but we're going into the launch of Sure Thing. So really lean in and put all 20 entries in every single day until the end of this promotion. The second announcement that I have is all about, we're talking about this season where we're probably talking to people more often. We're connecting with people more often. It's just the season of gatherings. So one, when people ask you what you do, kind of have your elevator pitch ready. But when they begin to express the interest to know a little bit more about what you do, we have a new opportunity video. One of the best ways for you to explain the coaching opportunity to people who may be interested in learning more about what you're doing and joining you, you can share the Body Coach Opportunity video with them. This video lives in the featured media section of your Coach Online office. Go watch it yourself if you haven't watched it. And then, of course, as you're coming into these conversations, as people are expressing their interest, this is something that you can send that's quick, easy, and it's beautiful. Be sure that you follow up with them, though, in 24 hours. And the final announcement that I have for you We have some updated social media handles that I want to make sure that you know about. Our Bod Interactive is now Body, BODI, on Instagram and Facebook. Okay, I'm going to take a quick breath because we have the man. We have our CEO on with us today, and he's going to come in and he's going to tee up a little something here. But before I bring him on, just know that Sure Thing, the big one, Sure Thing, is launching tomorrow. And every single one of you, whether you are Holly and this is your first call or this is your 1,014th call, you have the opportunity to not only help people with Sure Thing, but to potentially win that 20,000 bonus points. Okay, let me bring in our CEO. Carl, are you here?
Yep, Keyshawn, thank you so much. And man, you brought the fire this morning. I appreciate that. And it's really, first off, congratulations to all the coaches who advanced. It's phenomenal to see the incredible growth in Canada. Well done, you guys. And also on this idea of winning the $20,000. Obviously, the most important thing is that you're sending share cards to people who you've got a relationship with. Like, this isn't some sort of spam, a bunch of share cards out there. This is about helping coaches understand that you can talk, you can create a relationship, you can talk about the fact that you run this wellness group and you're inviting people to it, or that you're helping other people start their own wellness groups as coaches. But at the end of the day, you got to pull that trigger. And that's why we put that little prize or that extra bonus out there for people to get them to just go, oh yeah, I remember. Sending share cards is that primary act of taking an action to show people that I'm serious about this. And if I'm going to be having all these conversations, I'd like to bring them aboard. And I know it's the week of the launch of Sure Thing, and a lot of coaches, you're getting ready to send out those share cards as soon as the gate opens for customers to get VIP early access this week. But I wanted to put the launch of Sure Thing into the context of health esteem and talk about how it all comes together this January. Okay, first, why the category of health esteem is such a breakthrough and why it means your business is about to attract anyone who's tired with the way the fitness and diet industry has operated for the last 3 decades. See, the legacy industry makes people feel lousy every new year. It's the business model, right? You aren't good enough unless you're ripped and lean. And most people spend the holidays letting things go because they're having fun. And there's always this cloud of guilt or shame over that. That's sort of in the background. So New Year's is like payback time. And the industry is ready to make sure you really do feel guilty for it. You better work out and you diet because you had fun, maybe more than you were supposed to. So as of January 1st, no days off, cut carbs, no wine, no dessert until you look like an after photo, right? You need to stay on it. And once you're there, then, okay, better keep it together or you're not good enough again. Well, that's the imperfection economy. And honestly, it's a dying industry. Feeling bad about yourself is a terrible way to start the new year. And it's a worse way to run a business. That's why we are leading the way into this category of health esteem, because in this category, you can appreciate yourself, appreciate that you had some fun, and appreciate that you choose to love your life. You can eat more dessert. You can enjoy fitness, even mix things up, go off plan if you want, or even take a week off each month. Live life. And with health esteem, you enjoy food, like you really enjoy it. And you can enjoy it in a way that doesn't make you feel lousy. Health esteem is about living your life and loving your life because you learn how to be kind to yourself at the same time that you want to do things that make you feel great. Being healthy, being strong, having energy makes you feel great. Being healthy is a part of a fun life. That's what we want to do. That's been our mission all along. We want to help people love their lives. So instead of starting the year with New Year's resolutions, which are all about what you can't do and punishing ourselves for living the life we actually enjoyed last year, we are celebrating World Health Esteem Month starting January 1st. Literally, a month officially recognized and devoted to the category of health esteem and celebrating what it means to feel good, to enjoy life. And at the same time, that you are pursuing your health and fitness goals. Here's how I'm looking at it. It's every year's adult, there's all this crazy BS to make New Year's resolutions, to try to repair all the mistakes we made last year, right? It just makes people feel bad about themselves, and it never works. It never lasts long. Look, there's nothing wrong with wanting to do things differently in the new year, turn over a new leaf. What's wrong is an industry that makes people feel bad about themselves to get them to start. I want us to be radically different from now on. And I'd like your help encouraging coaches to go from the old way of setting New Year's resolutions, where we start the year by forbidding ourselves of the stuff that we judge as, or are judged as doing wrong. And instead, we're starting this year where we're making a health esteem declaration, declaring what we want from life going forward, how we can have it all. From a resolution of what I can't do to a declaration of what I can do and how great I want to feel. This is a health esteem declaration. And we're going to devote every day of January to move toward more of what we want and raise the health esteem of the world, certainly, at least in our own neighborhoods. It's the first ever World Health Esteem Month. And that's the very same premise behind Sure Thing, where every day we celebrate how good it feels to show up. The focus isn't on some weight loss goal in 8 weeks or an after photo where you have to starve yourself to achieve any goal. The goal here is how good you can feel every day. And when you stack up 8 weeks where you reinforce feeling good, like literally getting in touch with what feels good for you, the kind of food choices that make you feel good, the kind of workouts that make you feel proud for showing up. When you do that every day, the 8-week results are just a natural byproduct of that kind of consistency, with the freedom to live life at the same time, to eat more dessert. When life is that good, you can't help but have a miraculous transformation, a true sure thing. And that's what Megan delivered with this program. So the whole month of January, we're going to celebrate stories of health esteem on the Body social channels to show people how it's done. And I know there won't just be Sure Thing health esteem stories. There will be stories as simple as someone changing their dessert habits, or stories of someone earning the 100th workout badge on Body, or even a health esteem story of someone who just had a great day, or a great day one, or whatever program they choose. We want to celebrate people feeling good, not just the after. And I'm hoping that you might post one or two of your own health esteem declarations. I'm going to post a couple of my own at the beginning of the year. And it's sort of like the ice bucket challenge, if you remember that. We'll tag a few people to pass it on, get them to post their health esteem story, examples of more and more people learning that bullying yourself into healthier habits, that's the old way. Health esteem, feeling good, is the new way. All you have to do when I tag you, if I tag you, or if you tag somebody, and this is what we want to post. Like, what did you used to say that you couldn't do? Like an old New Year's resolution that you might have made and then later broke. Then now, what are the declarations, or what's something that you want for yourself, not punishments, but the actual life you want to live in 2023? Not just for this year, actually, but for your life. And what's a personal story of how you're going to do that? How do you think your life will be better? Now, there's a blog post about World Health Esteem Month that has all the information, and it also includes something that we call the 10 tiny moments that can contribute to your daily health esteem routine. They're super simple, and I think will give you and your team a lot to post about and start conversations this month. Simple stuff like wake up on the first alarm, or make time to eat breakfast, or swap out afternoon treats for superfood dessert, stuff like that. Really great little moments that can happen throughout the day that are worth trying to do all month long. What you can have, right? We want to help you and your customers achieve high health esteem instead of beating yourself over the head with an impossible New Year's resolution that you're going to end up quitting. And I wanted to announce it today because I'd love to have your help with this once it kicks off January 1st. And I think this will really be good for people. It works great with this whole idea of feeling good, which is the whole point of everything we do, right? Sure Thing is going to be a great complement to World Health Esteem Month. And for the people who maybe aren't ready for that, maybe just making a dessert plan with our gourmet superfood dessert recipes. That'd be a worthwhile health esteem declaration right there. I mean, honestly, who doesn't want to eat more dessert? Okay. All right. Now I'm going to send an email in the next week to describe this more. I'll repeat pretty much what I said here, and you can look for the blog post too if you want to get ahead of the curve. But I wanted you to hear about it here on the National Wake Up Call. January is World Health Esteem Month. So Keyshawn, I hope you find a way to look at the 10 tiny moments and they help you start the year feeling great. I know you always feel great, but everybody could use a tiny moment to check in with their health esteem. And I hope you do too. Well, all right. What do we got next? I know we got a special guest here.
Carl, first of all, the chats and the comments are going crazy. Like you just came and you're like, we are celebrating World Health Esteem Month, y'all, in January. That's ours. That's our category. We own it. And we are going to celebrate it by making sure that people don't feel that guilt or feel ashamed. Carl, I am sweating. I'm so fired up after your 5-7 minutes that you just spoke. Okay, you're right. We do have a special guest. We appreciate you so much. Have an incredible day. Cannot wait to celebrate World Health Esteem Month with you.
Thanks, Keyshawn.
All right, y'all. My mind is blown. How powerful is it that our tongue is a weapon for positive change? And no matter if you are Rachel Robart, who I know has been here for a minute, or you are Holly, who is brand new, it does not matter if you're tenured or how new you are, you already possess that power. And the only thing you have to do to unleash all of that beautiful life-changing potential that Carl just shared, the potential to change someone from feeling guilt and shame to loving the life that they're living right here, right now, today, as they are getting better. And you can help people love their life even more by being intentional and by having all types of conversations, the funny ones, the short ones, the light ones, the surface ones, the deep ones, but being very intentional about having meaningful conversations. The kind of conversations that have a serious or important or useful quality or purpose about them. The meaningful conversation about a solution that we have through this partnership that we have together, through everything we're doing right here with Sure Thing being a sure thing. By us saying, if you go help people, you can get 20 entries to go potentially win 20,000 bonus points. By saying we have a brand new pack with the Shake and Hustle pack, you can help someone right now, today, no matter what, with the power of your tongue. And all you have to be willing to do is to have a genuine, authentic, meaningful conversation. And that's exactly what we're talking about today. We have a very special guest who's going to talk all about the importance of having meaningful conversations, but also, what are they? How do they start? How do you make it a genuine, authentic connection? So please help me welcome to the call. She is a wife and a girl mom of 2. She's been coaching for 9.5 years, y'all. She's 2-time elite, 2-time premier. She is a Success Club legend for 112 months in Success Club, the founder of Team Beautifully Made. Please help me welcome to the call, April McDonald. April.
Hi. Oh my gosh. I love you so much. I love your fire. I don't know. I'm just so excited to be here. I have said this a million times, but it has been on my vision board for 9.5 years. I've listened to every single national wake up call and honestly just honored and blessed to be here. So thank you.
Thank you for being here. And this is such an important conversation. And honestly, we hear this often, like, I'm not quite sure like where to turn or how to make this conversation. Like, how do we have meaningful conversations? But before we jump into that, April, I like to get a little backstory. So can you maybe go back 9.5, 10 years ago? How did you find your way here and to us to have this conversation today?
Yes. Okay. So we all have a story. I'm going to not do the whole story. I'm going to start with my story for coaching. And it started on Instagram in 2013. I only used Instagram for giveaways. So I loved things, but I was kind of broke as a joke. So I spent my downtime on my phone sharing and tagging people to enter giveaways, and I won a lot of stuff. So I won some yoga mats, some shoes, some books, some supplements. And I just started following someone because she was doing a Shakeology giveaway. And I saw her next post. And she said, "Are you feeling unfulfilled, unappreciated, and underpaid?" And I was like, yes, yes, yes. This is speaking to me. What do I have to lose by reaching out to her? So I reached out to her. I asked for more information. She sent me an hour-long webinar, and I watched it and I signed up that day. And so I think it's important to note that she invited me to learn more about coaching through that post. I know a lot of times we make a post and we pray that somebody will reach out to you. I was that answered prayer for her that day. But I signed up as she walked me through. She said, "Hey, do you mind if I just give you a call? I'll walk you through how to get signed up." I'm like, "Okay, this Instagram stranger, sure, let's do this." And then then she said, "Hey, our team call is tonight. Do you want to hop on?" I'm like, "Okay." And then she said, "In 2 days is our Super Saturday. Go find one near you, bring a friend." And I said, "Okay." And I just did it. I didn't know anyone, but she told me to do it. So I did it. And I think it's important to just note that she invited me to learn. And so at that time, I had a master's in clinical exercise physiology. Exercise has always been my jam. I was working 3 jobs. I was a fitness specialist at a corporate wellness facility. I was teaching extra boot camp classes and personal training to make extra money. I was serving a few nights a week. Can I get some love if you've been in the restaurant industry? Always nice to be able to pick up shifts. And then I babysat, and I still was not making ends meet. So at that time, I had $7 in my bank account. I always tell people this. I had $7 in my bank account, almost $90,000 in debt, and an almost maxed out credit card. So I asked myself, what do I have to lose? And the answer was nothing. And I'm so thankful that I went for it. I signed up that day. I threw it on a credit card. My bank account was literally negative the next day. I was a regular member of the Insufficient Funds Club, so that wasn't really a big deal to me at the time. And it was just more motivation to work hard and pay that off, and hopefully plus some.
Listen, April, I got to jump in because you just took us through this story. First of all, thank you so much for giving it, because, I think that some of those people might have hid, and we just appreciate the authenticity as we talk about not feeling any shame. And I know that people can resonate with it, and we know that there's something coming out on the other end. But what I wanted to really point out, and you emphasized this, but I just want to emphasize, re-emphasize it, because your coach, she asked a question and she felt confident asking that question because you guys you're following her, so she has the authority to ask those type of gut-wrenching questions. She did. You reached out, you took action, but then she did something, and this is the takeaway. She invited you to learn more through the hour webinar. We know that we now have a very short, condensed, beautifully produced body opportunity video that's in the featured media section in the back office. But she sent you that hour video. Then she was like, "Come to Super Weekend." Y'all, just in case you didn't know, we are 2 and some change weeks out from our January Super Weekend. It's January 6th, 7th, and 8th. She invited you right away. She invited you to the team call. So if you feel stunted because you don't know, I just want you to remember April's coach and remember that she just invited. And then April, you took action with that defining moment. So keep going. I just had to reemphasize that.
No, you're good. And I was just thinking when I was putting this together, and I always know that I had a defining moment. And it was a few years prior to even hearing about coaching. Because when I saw that post, that was the first time I had ever heard about coaching. I didn't even know it was something that was available. And I had a defining moment in the meat section of a grocery store. Where Publix is, that's where I was. It was my husband's birthday. We were broke, per usual. You already know that part. And I was sitting there. I didn't want to buy him a gift. I just wanted to make him dinner. And I checked my bank account before I went to the store, because I checked my bank account before I went anywhere, because that's how I lived. And I was looking at the brisket, which is his favorite, and the potatoes and the carrots and the wine. And I knew that I didn't have enough money. And I thought, okay, I can put the wine back. That's just a bonus. Like, I don't need that. And I sat there crying in the meat section of Publix because I couldn't even afford to buy him dinner. And I promised myself that day that if an opportunity ever presented itself for me to better my life, I would take it, because I didn't want to live life in a way that I couldn't provide for the people I loved. And I just, we both worked 65 hours when I found this coaching post. We both were working 65 hours a week. He had one day off a week. He was a restaurant manager. I got up. I was leaving my house at 5 a.m. to open the gym. He was getting home at 2 or 3 in the morning, and he had one day off a week. And that one day I was still usually working one of my jobs, but our date would be us going to the dog park, because we couldn't afford to go out to dinner. We couldn't afford to go to the movie. And while I don't take it for granted, because I'm so blessed to have him as my husband, I'm so blessed to have a man that loves and adores me and get to spend time with him. If you would ask me if that was the date night that I wanted, no, like, not at all. And so, I think that's also, like, at that point, we didn't know if we would be able to have kids, because we were working so much, like 65 hours a week, not making ends meet. One, we would either never see our kids, or two, not be able to afford childcare. And that wasn't the type of mom that I wanted to be. So literally, me babysitting was a way for me to be, like, around babies, because I didn't know if we would even be able to have a family. So I'm just so thankful. Our oldest, Adley, she's 6, Charlie's 3, and I get to be the classroom mommy that I always craved. And I just don't know if that would have even been an option if I didn't just say yes.
Oh my gosh, April, like, wow. Because we've been doing this for a while. And sometimes when you hear what we're doing is impacting and changing lives, you almost take that for granted a little bit. Like, like, you hear it so often, you forget, like, the meaning behind it. And then you put a visual. I could see you in the middle of that meat section. I can see the process of that thinking. How can I make this happen? And so if you don't think that we are impacting lives in a major way, whoa, where are you? Come from under that rock. It's stories like this. It's working 65 hours. It's not even knowing if you guys can have a family because of time, because of money. It's being able to cook your man his favorite dinner without any hesitation. And I know that all of that started because of that question. And it started because of your answer, yes. And today we're talking about meaningful conversations. And I know that you have some tips to give us on how we can be more intentional about creating this space. Do you want to give us those goods?
Yeah. And so, I'm like sitting here trying to compose myself after this. I'm like, okay, we're done crying for now. But, when I think of, like, our story and where we started from, and, the hard work we've put in, and now where we are, I love quotes. I am a quote person. So I wanted to share something. I rented an audiobook, and I listened to it on my hour-long commute both ways all the time. I could probably rehearse it by the end, but it was Zig Ziglar. And he said, "You can have everything in life you want if you will just help other people get what they want." I'm going to say that again. You can have everything in life you want if you will just help other people get what they want. And so that was so powerful to me. And I got really excited, just looking forward to helping other people get what they want and figuring out what that looked like. And so I really just feel blessed that I was able to better my life and my relationship, and that I get to mentor others to help them be able to go on the kinds of dates that they want to go on, see their loved ones more than once a week, be able to give their loved one a gift without crying over finances, Be the classroom and present mommy that they crave to be. I just got to go last week with my kindergartner to decorate cookies at her school. And I never take those moments for granted. And so it's not lost on me how blessed I am to be able to wake up and I get to show my babies and my team beautifully made, I love you, what is possible. I want you all to know that there is no dream too big if you are willing to just be a servant leader. Okay, so
let's jump in, because like, okay, I'm first of all, the Zig Ziglar quote that you shared, writing it down, you can have everything in life you want if you will just help other people get what they want. If we can start our day with that quote on our mind, I think that will take away a lot of potential anxiety that comes up when we have to break through potential fear or whatever it may be. But let's go into your 5 tips, because I know you have 5 and I am ready for them.
Yes. Okay. That's exactly what I want to talk to you about today, is just having genuine conversations and leaving people better than what you met them. That's like my favorite thing that we get to do in this business. So I want to show you how I look at starting new conversations as more than just a Success Club point. I love knowing that even if they don't end up joining me, I'm able to help them in some capacity. And that is a blessing, y'all. So 5 tips to create meaningful conversations. If you are one of those note takers, we love you. Take the notes, put it all in the comments, because there is a busy person somewhere that is not able to do that, and you're going to bless them. So you guys are the real MVP, just throwing it out there. All right. So number 1 is check your heart posture. Before you start conversations, I think this is so important to think about. So get in the right mindset and heart set. So for some people, that looks like drinking your Energize, putting on some good music and connecting. And my sister's obsessed with Tony Robbins, so she's priming and doing all that. For me, I throw on my Jesus jams. I pray over my business, and I pray that God will just connect me with a woman that needs this, that needs to feel better, that needs this community, and I get to guide her in treating her body like a temple. So yesterday, at church, I actually had a couple verses come that went right along with what I was talking about. So I just added them to share with you today. So Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him and he will make your path straight." And what I'm saying with that is, don't question what you will say or talk yourself out of starting conversations. Just follow your heart and lean into your calling. So here's something so maybe you would say well, what if I'm not in the right heart set? Okay, what do I do there? So maybe you're only focusing on the Success Club points that you haven't received yet, or, the money that you still need to make for your family by X date, and your heart is pounding out of your chest. Try asking yourself these 3 questions before sending messages. In what ways has this community changed my life for the better? And I want you to think about it. Write it out. Spend some time in your morning routines and do this over and over. In what ways has this community changed my life for the better? That's like a novel right there. That's a whole book, maybe like a 3-part series. Number 2, where was I before I found this business and community? Well, you know my story. I know you have a story. So think about financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically, all of the leads. Just write it all out. Let it flow. And number 3, how has this helped me to feel more fulfilled and appreciated? These are great questions. You can journal this out. It's going to be such a good exercise for you to do. You can do this in the morning when you're drinking your Energize. You just finish your devotional, you're reading, and you're looking at your goals, you're looking at your vision, and then you journal this. And my team will laugh at this, but when you write it out, that's a post. Every time they tell me a win or celebration or something like that, I'm like, that's a post. And so I think it's really cool. I'm giving you this homework. Do it. It's gonna be great content, because there's another coach that needs to see that, or a future coach like me that needs to see that. And I know it's the end of the year and you may be pushing hard for a goal. It's the end of the month. I get it. Trust me, I've been there. But right now, instead of focusing on how far I feel that I have to go, I focus on my wins and how far I've came. And I'm so thankful that I get to celebrate myself for all that I am instead of beating myself up for all that I'm not. And so this exercise is really great in doing that. So one other thing to help you is a quick story time. I take a breath because I know I'm going to cry again. This is why you can change your heart before connecting. When you are sitting there afraid of sending an invite or you're over, thinking about talking to somebody, I want you to remember this story. My big sister, Melissa, I love you. She's a Star Diamond OG coach on our team, and I have watched her transform her life before my eyes because of coaching and the internal work that she's done. She's lost over 100 pounds. She has a 100 club of her own of 5 other people she's helped lose 100 pounds. Can y'all celebrate her in the comments? Like, this is incredible. I'm not done yet. She's 7 years sober, and she has a sober squad of 5 that she's helped to quit drinking. And I'm so proud of her. And it wasn't always this way. Our relationship struggled so much because she was so unhappy with herself. And I mean, we were at a family event one time, and I vividly remember, she's probably going to feel bad me telling this story. I love you. And one time we were standing next to each other, and somebody was taking a picture. And she looked at me and she said, please don't stand next to me. You're going to make me look fat. And that broke my heart because I knew how bad she was hurting. And, it makes me so sad to think of how unhappy she was with herself at the time. And, now she's one of my very best friends. She is a true leader and life changer. And to see how far she's come, and she reminds me all the time because she is such a sweet, sweet friend. But she always reminds me that it started with me saying yes, so that others could go, after. And so remember that you get to be a life changer by connecting with others. So instead of being afraid of doing your invites, instead you scroll social media, you need to think about the life on the other end that is changing, and how dare you keep that opportunity trapped in your mouth. So I started coaching so I could buy stuff on Instagram instead of buy stuff instead of relying on Instagram giveaways. I wanted to be able to fill up my gas tank instead of being a $10 on pump 2 kind of girl. I wanted to be able to buy my groceries and all of my groceries without checking my bank account first. So my message today to those who can relate to my story is that set a goal to make $500. That's life-changing income for some people. I know it was for me. Don't be afraid to do it, because I believe in you and you need to believe in yourself. But it starts with these meaningful conversations. So number 2 is make it your mission to leave people better than when you met them, and be a servant leader. This is my favorite thing because honestly, put good out, put good back. And another verse that came to me yesterday during my sermon that I needed to share is Philippians 2:3-4. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others. Okay, that was hit me like a ton of bricks. Yes, all of this. So this is how we create meaningful conversations, by putting others first. We are not a copy-paste company. Say it with me. We are not a copy-paste company. We are better than that, y'all. Take more time in having genuine conversations. Sure, it's going to take longer, but it will matter more. So in the notes section of your phone, just have a few easy ways to add value. So when you're having a conversation, and even when people say no, you can still impact them. Maybe it's a favorite podcast or a sample workout, a book that you love. You can share a meal plan. Some other things I love is some devotionals. There's free devotionals on the Bible app. But that's a way that you can just give freely. And when they think of you, they think of kindness, generosity, and someone who genuinely wants the best for someone. So in conversations, ask them things like, and I have a lot of questions that are coming. I also do have a graphic with some of the questions. So if you're fervently she told us to take notes, don't worry, I will share those with you too. But in conversations, ask them simple things like, what are you struggling with? This is my favorite this is my favorite, like, go-to question. This opens up the conversation for so much more. And so elaborate. Are you starting with your mindset? Is it your fitness, your nutrition, like your motivation? What is it? When you dig deeper and ask more questions, you get to add more value. Another way that I love is just saying, how can I pray for you and your family today? I lead a faith-based business, and I love that this question is a genuine way to see where their pain point is, and just to offer support, love, and prayer, which can mean so much to someone. It's so much deeper than a, hey girl, how are things? Like, hey, how is your heart? How can I pray for you and your family today? You're going to get a lot more real of a conversation when you say something like that, when they're, instead of, hey girl, how are you? And they're like, oh my gosh, she's following up with me again because I have ignored her 3 times. This means you care. Okay. So I want you to take away today is that you're making it your mission to leave people better than when you met them. And that means that you truly have value. You have value right now. I don't care if you're a brand new coach, you have value to add someone's life. And it's as simple as asking, how can I pray for you today? That to me is beautiful. Which brings me to tip number 3, which is ask questions. Ask questions to emphasize that mission of wanting to leave people better than when you met them. I started going deeper. I started asking them some of these questions. How is your heart? What are you grateful for? Who do you want to become? How can you prioritize yourself? That's a question not many people get. What can you do to become the best mom or wife you can be? You can fill in the blank there. I primarily am talking, that's mostly my target market. What needs to change? How can I help? How can you love your body for all that it is and all that it isn't? What's going well? What do you want to change? What are your goals? Y'all, if you are not asking them what their goals are, that needs to happen. You need to know what they want to do, what they're struggling with, so that you can, we have the opportunity to literally create a solution specific to them. If you're not asking those questions and they're like, oh yeah, you want more information? Here's your share card to get these things. That's not how we do this business. All these extra questions, you get to tell them how the solution to their problems has helped you and get more emotionally connected. So when I say, what are your goals? Another way to go deeper is, what would achieving those goals mean to you? And I have a story that has resonated with me. This probably happened 6 years ago. I was talking to a client and I said, what are your goals? And she said, I just want to be able to chase my kid around the playground and fit down the slide. I just want to be able to fit down the slide with my 2-year-old. And my heart just that pulled on my heartstrings. And so, then what you can do is, what would it mean to you? Picture this. What would it mean to you to be able to chase your 2-year-old around the playground, to fit down that slide, to hear their giggles, and to know that you made a change that's going to better your entire family? And I asked her that. And she said, everything. Oh my gosh, it would mean everything to me. And guess what? After you get to that place with them, there is no way that they are not going to join you. If not now, eventually, because they are so connected emotionally to that they're ready to join you. So just continue to dig deeper, asking why after whatever question. That's an easy one. Why? And so you ask, you can really dive into deeper connections that way. When they're more connected to their goals, they'll also be more invested. And think about your target market. For me, my target market is busy moms. And are you being asked these questions by people? I am not. I am not usually being asked these questions by people. So when people are like, oh, well, I actually have to think about that. How would I prioritize myself? That's a good question. It's a breath of fresh air, knowing someone cares about them. This is literally before you even get to them joining you, or potentially this is you checking in with a current client, or I'll get to who it's for in a minute. But when you know what they're struggling with, you know how to add value. So here's another example. So somebody said, hey, I'm struggling with nighttime binging really bad. I do good during the day, and then I put the kids in bed, and then I just eat like a raccoon in a dumpster. I don't know. It's just not going great. So I'm saying okay, Here's some of my best tips to avoid nighttime cravings. I drink a ton of water or hot tea. I will have some berries and dark chocolate chips. If I actually am hungry, chances are I'm probably not. I'm just bored. I suggest some food freedom devotionals. There's a lot of free ones on the Bible app. And I like to talk to them about my nighttime munchie juice, which is Bevy. And I send my clients a sample of this because I feel like it is underrated and under talked about at all our team calls. We used to bring wine and now we bring Bevy. And, you know, it really does help. And I have a solution to her problem and I get to share that with her. So you're just adding value around their struggles. You might be thinking, who are we asking these questions to? Like, who am I supposed to be asking these questions to? Your followers, people watching your stories, people commenting, liking on your posts, and past clients, preferred customers, coaches, inactive, active, whatever. You get to bless so many people's lives by just having these conversations. And, you know, just because people sign up as a coach, they do not have it all together. Your coaches might need these questions too. So really digging deep and going for it in that conversation with anyone. So this is a way to make little deposits into your relationship bucket. And even if they don't join you now, when they're ready, they'll think of you because you cared. Here's another quote. If you haven't noticed yet, I love them. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That was Theodore Roosevelt. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I just feel like that can be your life motto.
You know, not only our life motto, but kind of how we live. Like Carl mentioned the declarations. This is kind of like a declaration. I declare that this is how I'm going to live. And y'all, I see the comments are going crazy. April, when you are finished, please take a look at them because one, there's a lot of love in there and just gratitude for you sharing this. But also people who are just like, I resonate with that. These questions are incredible. And April mentioned that she'll post these questions in the chat here. If you are listening to this on the podcast, we'll see if we can get these added to our Body Coach Basics page on Facebook also. But April, I just wanted to say that these first 3 tips, bomb. Hit us with those last 2.
Thank you. Okay, so yes, I will definitely get to all the comments and things like that. I literally don't have anything else on my schedule for today. I'm just living and soaking in this moment. So number 4 is let go of the all or nothing mindset. This is another thing that my team is probably like sick of hearing me talk about. I've been talking about it so much lately, but it's so true, especially this time of year. You know, a lot of people aren't wanting to get started with everything, so they'll just do nothing and continue to like eat like garbage and not care and feel bad about themselves, right? Ask people this question. Can you replace 1 meal a day with a yummy shake and drink half your body weight in water? They'll be like, or even just drink more water. Yeah, I could do that. Awesome. Let's start there. Okay. And you guys, you don't have to do everything with these people. I have a client. She is down 7 pounds in 3 weeks. All she has done is, and she started with me just this month, all she has done is replace one meal a day with a shake and drink more water. She hearted one of my stories on Facebook where we've got mutual friends. And so I just reached out and I just started a conversation. And so then I asked her like, hey, you know, do you want to just focus on, you know, replacing a meal a day, drinking more water? She's like, sure, I can do that. And so once she gets started, week 2, I suggested that she just have a vegetable with every meal and look at her plate and try to have veggies be the majority of her plate. Then week 3, 4, whatever, add in little, she's not wanting to do exercise yet, but I said, you know, go to your body and just go to 9-week control freak. There is 10-minute stretches. You can do it in your jammies. You don't have to change, but just start moving your body. Those 10-minute stretches are awesome. There's a ton of them. Go in there, message me once you get it done. And I'm giving her little tips and we aren't even adding in workouts, you know? And so then I have another friend that's local. She's a local mom friend. She wants to lose 100 pounds and we know she can do that. And she needs a few weeks before she's financially able to commit. So 2 weeks ago, I started her on Clean Week and I gave her a few Shakeology samples because I wanted her to start with something. Guys, I don't even know if you know this, but Clean Week is free. It is free $99. They just need a free Beachbody account. You can send them a share cart, enroll without purchase. Hey, go do Clean Week. Message me when you get your first workout in. So something is better than nothing. And if you have ever read The Compound Effect, it's such a good book, The Compound Effect. It's just talking about how small, consistent effort will add up. I tell my team all the time, if you're mixing up your energize, your first thing or whatever you're doing, and you're doing a story and you don't know what to talk about this all or nothing mindset, because this is what so many people need to hear. And it might kind of jog somebody like, okay, yeah, I could do that. And so, send a voice memo to somebody watching your story and engaging with your posts, or past clients, or maybe you have somebody that you send a share cart to and they never actually pulled the trigger. Send a message. I'm always voice messaging everything. Hey, Britt, want to join my 3-week challenge I'm doing? We're replacing 1 meal a day with a shake and just moving our body, trying our best and feeling proud. Can you do that with me? And most people are like, I can do that. Yeah, okay. I'm like, all right, cool. Because it's not really a big thing. We're just doing our best. And even if they, say they only do 2 20-minute workouts in that week, that's 40 more minutes of exercise than they did the week before. Okay. So let's, instead of focusing on oh, I failed because I only did 2 workouts, let's celebrate that you did 40 more minutes of moving your body this week. And now we can apply this to your business. I have a couple coaches on here. I even see you, Corey, Brady, I see you on here, that I have been like, okay, we are going to apply this all or nothing to your business. If you are short on time and you only have 15 minutes, and you can't complete your tracker, so you feel like, oh, there's no use, I might as well do nothing, I'll just continue to scroll social media. Tell me below if you can relate to that. I would rather you spend 3 15-minute increments starting genuine conversations than anything else. The compound effect takes place here too. If you do 3 invites, Monday through Friday, that's 15 invites to potentially change a life. One of my coaches, Nina, she hit Success Starter without even having an Instagram. She was just living in her inbox. Okay. And I just think that's so important. So that brings me to my final tip, which is number 5. Always know what you are inviting to. Free groups were the bread and butter of my business when I started a long time ago. So free groups have changed, definitely. I used to do 30 days planks and things and squat challenges. I would just find them on Pinterest or whatever. But every month, that April was starting a new group, and I had some really faithful people. Lisa, who's with me now, she's been with me since the very beginning in those free groups. And so I want you to pick a week, 1 to 2 weeks before, you're going to start this 3-week challenge. So say you're going to start a 3-week challenge. 1 or 2 weeks before that, just decide to do a free group. Have them do clean week. You throw in a meal plan into the guides, throw in a couple of your favorite podcasts or devotionals, or, and just tell them to drink more water with you. You're adding value for free. You've got fitness, you've got nutrition, you've got mindset, boom, epic value. You don't have to think about it. You do not have to overthink it. But free groups, especially in January, yes, girl, do it. Or bro, sorry. But pick a day to start a 3-week challenge. Remember, my coach invited me to watch an hour webinar, and now we have a 10-minute video to send somebody. She invited me to her team call. She invited me to Super Saturday. It's so important. And so the other thing too is invite beyond the group. This is another thing that's really important for me. If you haven't noticed yet, I am a very extroverted, social person. I love to be around people in person too. And so as I love my team, but I'm also really working hard to create a local team. And so I plan Starbucks dates. Anytime anybody's interested in being a client or a coach, I'm like, hey, let's go to Starbucks. And it's pretty cool because I sit at the same Starbucks and have conversations, and I think about all the lives and friendships that have started right then and there. And so I also host a small group at church, and it is called Mom Squad, and love it so much. I started it really kind of selfishly to make more Jesus-loving mom friends that I could hang out with. But it's essentially a faith and fitness group where we do some type of devotional for Christian motherhood, and then we work out together, and I just stream our pod. And so, then we also do a mom's night out. We do play dates. The possibilities are endless. But these are the kind of things that are, 1, they're good for your mental health of being able to be around people, but 2, they're going to see your posts when you're doing that. And they're going to be watching your stories, and you're going to be seeing the other things that you have to offer. And so I want to give you some things to invite to. Well, I said the free group with Clean Week. You do a 5-day sugar detox in January. Use the 3-day refresh. Hello, the 3-day refresh is awesome. You can do a sugar detox. I'm sure there is something floating out there somewhere. Otherwise, you can get something cheap on Etsy, a guide or something. Ask your upline. I'm sure they have something for, some type of sugar detox. Encourage them to do the 3-day refresh. And then boom, like I guarantee you will find somebody to do that if you continuously go with that, because everybody is like, January, let's go detox. Yes, I need that. I ate like garbage over the holidays. You can do a 3-week challenge. Like I said, Megathon, MBF. I'm loving Megathon, by the way. Who else is? MBF, job one. And you can invite to the Body Coach Opportunity video. Very quickly, Christina Delgado, who's amazing in Roundtable, said, hey, when somebody's ready and you're about to send them the share cart, and just say, hey, have you ever watched this, heard about the opportunity we have? Let me just send you this video. Take a look at it. Let me know if it's something you want to do with me. And so I know the best way to get you started. No biggie either way. So now I'm just sending it to everybody, because everybody needs to know about coaching, because it's changed my life so much. Why wouldn't I? Don't feel bad about that. You should feel bad if you aren't sharing it, because think of how it's changed your life and my life. So work out with local friends in person. I love doing this one. I make a shake for them after. And then, I just want you to focus on not just, starting a conversation for the purpose of Success Club points, but to create a genuine conversation for the possibility of forming lasting friendships. I've built a second family with my team and, the leaders that I've met along the way. You are blessed to be a blessing to others. You are blessed to be a blessing to others. And I always quote Moira, her quote that she said, when you change a mama, you change a family. My team has absolutely adopted this mindset, because we know how much it's changed us, and in changing us, it's changed our whole family dynamic. You guys know, literally gave me the possibility of being mama. And so I challenge you and your teams to rally and make a goal together, and just see how many families you can change together before the end of the year. That is a powerful goal I think we can all get behind. I get to believe in others before they believe in themselves, and be able to watch it all unfold.
April, there are so many amazing things that we can pull from this entire conversation. And what I love most is that all 5 of these tips align so beautifully with our category that we're in of health esteem. It's very much so, your 5 tips. How is your heart posture? You said, make it your mission to leave people better. You said, ask questions, and not just like any question, but those questions that really make you stop and think and be introspective. You said, let go of the all or nothing mindset, which for me, I don't know about y'all, was the one that slapped me up in the face. You can get them started with the 5ers. You get them started with Clean Week as you introduce them to Megan, and then maybe MBF, and then maybe Sure Thing. And then this 5th tip that you gave, always know what you're inviting to. All very much so aligned with this idea that what we're doing is rooted in health esteem. And the more selfish that we are with us trying to, one, love where we're at right now, but knowing that there's still there, that if we're eating like crap, there's a way for us to feel better, right? With the sugar detox, that when we're selfish in that regard, it actually postures us to be more generous in the back end. And so I appreciate all of your generosity today with these 5 tips. And so this is how we're going to end this call, because this call was long, but it was so good and so necessary. We'll get this added to our podcast ASAPidly. But my final question for you today, April, how? And you've spoken about this already. You've given us tips. We can feel, we can envision, because you've given us so many stories of how your life has been impacted. But how has having meaningful conversations impacted your life and your health esteem? From your coach asking you that question, to now you asking others those questions, to now you hearing people like your sister, Melissa asking people those questions. How has your life been impacted?
I think about the April in her 20s that struggled. I'll be 36 next month, but the April in her 20s that struggled silently with an eating disorder and just had zero self-confidence. And I think of the conversations of the women I'm speaking to that are just like in that place that the April in her 20s was, and that I'm able to show them that I care about them, to show them that they matter, that their worth is not decided on a number on the scale. And being able to have these genuine conversations and watch people change their life as they put their faith and trust in me, and to just believe in them before they believe in themselves, and watch how beautiful it is for somebody to finally grow into their full potential. Like, that is everything for me. It is just life-changing. It is just, I don't even know how I get to wake up every day and do this. It's been the biggest blessing. And I'm just so thankful to be here, that we've had this opportunity. I'm so thankful that I said yes. And I want you to think of my story the next time you're afraid of having a conversation, because you can change somebody's life by just going for it.
You can change someone's life by just going forward. And April, you were a true testament to that today. We appreciate you so much. Y'all, she said that she will post some of these questions in the chat. We'll get them in the Body Coach Basics page. Thank you so much for being here today, April. And for everyone who joined us today, thank you for being here also. And just have an incredible rest of your week. And I'll end this call with this quote. Today was the call of quotes. I was listening to Biggie Smalls this morning, and as we talk about conversations, it's this quote from Biggie: keep trying. Persistence and consistency is the best thing, as long as you are keeping it real and you keep trying and you keep banging down that wall that people put up as you are trying to help impact lives. That wall will fall down. And that's how we're going to end this call, baby. All right, April. All right, coaches, have an amazing week. We'll see you guys next week, same time, same place.